Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday morning. I hope we're all okay. I hope we're all right. I hope we are all looking after ourselves. Obviously, only a few more days away from, well, our first home game of the season, but also a couple of days now removed from our first away game of the season. So hopefully now I think a lot of people who were standing on the edge cliff, they've come back off the edge cliff. They're a bit more down to earth. And the people that are way too happy, we all get back into the middle ahead of a big game at the weekend, because you know what? A win at the weekend, you forget a lot of problems. In this video, though, we are talking a little bit about Monaco's right back, Vanderson. Somewhat getting bored of talking about this transfer, I won't lie. We're going to be talking about Vanderson. We're going to be talking about Joao Gomes again. Yeah, there's a bit of a chat about that. We're going to be chatting about, obviously, the situation going into the last couple of weeks of this transfer window with one hell of a busy window. You know, I'm seeing all these reports of teams that have done so much business still saying they're going to be really busy. So I think across the Premier League, the last sort of 10 days or so, I think it's going to be a very, very busy 10 days for the whole of the Premier League. So there's plenty to talk about, there's plenty to get into. Just say that if you're watching this, you new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. Morning Spurs, morning Adiz, Dan, Azza, Marshall, or Rudra instructions. Alez, how are we all? Well, we've got a good little video here. Hopefully we'll have some more people joining us this week. Why is everyone so angry about the Leicester game? It was fun, and football is just a game. Whoa, Teddy, careful. Anyway, let's jump in. Let's talk some Spurs. Let's talk some transfer stuff. Gundogan's just rejoined Manchester City. Must be nice. Oh, and I want to talk Chiesa quickly because I've seen some weird old reports about that. Anyway, Foot Mercato saying that Spurs' pursuit of Brazilian defender Vanderson is intensifying as Monaco have moved quickly to secure a replacement. And, you know, I've talked about Vanderson a lot. I have. I am busy. Not busy. I'm bored, sorry, of talking about Vanderson's deal. I don't think it makes a ton of sense right now either. Not to say that he's a good player or a bad player. I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense right now. For me, going for a right back doesn't make a ton of sense. The weakness of the rotation in our defense is on the left-hand side, at left centre back and left back. So you would think, oh, well, that's where they're going to be looking at, not a right back in a position where Spence is shown to have some quality, and you know there's a faith and ambition to make him great. You've got Dragoshin, Romero as well. The weakness is on the left-hand side. Now, is there quality in those left-hand sides that maybe they're not seeing or wanting? Maybe. You know, there's no point moving for the sake of moving or jumping for the sake of jumping. And that goes into more than just talking football. That goes into the real world. You don't jump from a job for the sake of jumping, you know? There has to be reasoning. So I don't get the Vanderson situation. I don't get the Vanderson interest. Again, like I said, good player. It's not saying that he's not, but it doesn't make any sense right now. Now, look, if there's a situation this summer that Pedro Porro was moving on, then heck, yeah, it would make a little bit more sense. But it doesn't. And Spence's emergence really shows that it doesn't. You know, yes, you can still play Archie Gray there. So all of these things being equal, it doesn't make any sense, you know. Morning, Ventress, mate. How are we? He has gone to Aleti, yeah. Morning, Amin, Christian, Richards, Sonia. How are we? Josh, how are we all? 30 Premier League games, 3 clean sheets. That's unacceptable. I don't know who you're talking about, Amin. Bear in mind, Vicario had 7 clean sheets last season, so I don't know who you're talking about us. Vanderson's not needed, even though he's quality. Absolutely. Richard, where are you from in America? Sorry, mate. Where are you from in America? Gray, Spence, Porro all play right back. Dragoshin can play there. Therefore, Vanderson isn't needed. What are we doing? Well, look, Foot Mercato, you're not going to sit there and hang your hat on it. But, you know, when there's smoke, there's fire sometimes. You know what I'm saying? As long as he isn't the only player we get by the end of it, I don't mind going in for Vanderson. Well, no, I don't think it. I don't for a second think we're getting one more player and it'll be a right back. You know, for me, look, I still think midfield is where they have interest. And obviously, we're going to talk about Joao Gomes in a second. But yeah, defense is something they're looking at. Obviously, we talked yesterday about a potential new goalkeeper. So I think Spurs will be busy. I think Spurs are going to be busy without Goings as well. You know, it's not just the incoming side of things. I think Spurs will be busy full stop. We're not selling Porro, no way. No, it was Adiz, it was a hypothetical. I know we're not selling him. Is Porro injured? Well, we're going to wait basically for Ange's press conference, which will be Friday. So when the preview that we'll do this week will come out. We always like we do the previews that come out a day before. The reviews come out a day after. We will talk about that a little bit closer to the time. Sometimes it's better to hear it from the horse's mouth, as they say. We definitely need a left winger. Well, Nusa moved to Leipzig, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure moved to Leipzig. And also, we signed Odeberg, who plays left wing. Mikey Moore featuring there. By the way, Mikey Moore and Lancashire both getting on the score sheet yesterday for the under-21s. They lost on penalties, but good performance, really. Yeah, so, I think Mikey Moore might be starting to feature a little bit more sooner rather than later, if the wingers do continue to struggle. But we'll see. We'll see. It's first game of the season. I'm not going to kill anyone for a bad performance. That's not the way football works, you know. Odeberg plays both wings, 10, striker. He plays all over the attack, mate. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk Joao Gomes. And I saw this from Dean Jones Soccer, which is a Give Me Sport guy, saying that Spurs are plotting a late move for Wolves midfielder Joao Gomes, who is valued at 50 million. Now, I think on this deal, I think Joao Gomes will be, if I was to predict a deal that I think Wolves would take and I think Spurs would do, I think it'd be similar to what we might offer for Neto. So our Neto deal, I think if you actually work it out to being the idea that we offered 40 plus skip, that deal actually ends up being about 65 to just a bit over £1 million. I believe Spurs will go somewhat a bit different, and I think they'll do that 40 to 45 with add-ons. I think maybe even 10 million in add-ons, which I've always said about add-ons. Any team that has add-ons featured and factored into their deals, they actually all want to pay those because it just means success. It means things have gone well. You know, it's like I was talking about Armando Broja to Ipswich. It was a loan with an option to buy for 30 million, but becomes an obligation if Ipswich stay up. Ipswich will pay it if they stay up. They're happy to pay it staying up because there's so much money to stay up in the Premier League. So for us, I think 45 plus 10 is probably a good solid deal. They're gonna want 50 plus, aren't they? Let's be real. They're gonna want 50 plus. You know, it brings the net spend to quite a decent amount as well. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. What would you guys think about my sort of 45 at plus 10? What do you guys reckon of that? Peter, how are you, mate? You're right. We need a left-footed right winger. 50 million is a fair price. We'll probably offer 35 plus 10 million add-ons, which is 45. Yeah, I think they're going to want more than that. That's for sure. And Gio to the deal. Well, you got to remember, is Gio going to want to go to Wolves? You know, there is a part. He has a say in where he goes as well. You know, it's not like what FIFA used to be, where you should be able to sell anyone. I think it's even FIFA nowadays, players reject moves, and I don't. You know, does he exactly want to go there? Maybe not. I saw, who is it that Betis are loaning Vita Roque? I saw that today. Obviously, does that speed them up for making moves elsewhere? You know, we talked about Gio and interest from Betis, but supposedly it's unlikely at the moment. You know, they've saved some money on that deal. I'm so surprised to see that Anderson's going to Fulham for so cheap as well. I thought it was a good deal all round, Josh. You know, he's 28, probably going on 29. You know, it's a decent amount of money for Palace. It's not crazy amounts of money for Fulham to spend. Palace, you know, may now definitely not sell Gueye. If they did, they can raise about 100 million between both of those that you can completely reinvest. plus Elise being sold. You raise them at 150, you can do so much with that. Giving Glasner full trust, you should, not too bad. Do you think this Gomes thing is true? That's the question. Well, no, we've been linked to him quite a lot. Doesn't mean we go for him, maybe not, but I think there is a link there. Who do I think we relegated this season? I'm gonna probably do my predictions post transfer window. I've always been one of those guys that goes, imagine right now you picked Arsenal to win the league, right? Gundogan's just come out and he's rejoining Man City. You'd be sitting there going, oh, geez, that's a huge addition to your club. And, apparently City are going for Furuhashi, by the way, from Celtic, which is quite a weird one. I didn't see that one coming. But you'd be going, that makes it a bit more difficult. So I think City win the league regardless. Gundogan just actually aids what I think. I think Spurs get top 4 relegation. Don't know yet. I'm going to wait to see what everyone else does transfer-wise. Yeah, it's a fair price. There we go. Palace are looking for a keeper as well. Well, there you go. I was concerned that this was Arsenal's year, but Gundogan has given me hope. Well, look, I mean, you've got players in that City team that would be some of Arsenal's best players. That's how I've looked at it. What's the one thing that Arsenal don't have? A guy that can score 25 a season. City have got that. You've got the best playmaker in the world. You've got so many good players in that City team still. It's a juggernaut. It really is a juggernaut that, they normally don't even get out of second gear sort of for the first half of a season. And without Rodri last weekend, they still look very good. Kovacic looks like he's going to be a really good player in that system. Gundogan's coming back, who knows the system. He'll fit seamlessly into a midfield with Rodri and De Bruyne. They're still, for me, the team to beat. And that Rico Lewis looked very, very good. Very, very good. Get Gundogan to Spurs, would be nice. Hey, Ben, how are you, mate? Don't believe the hype. Are Spurs looking at a number 6? We're looking at a midfielder, yes. A dumb potato. Must be mad watching this back and seeing me say stuff like this. Why Joao Gomes is our top target? Is he our top target? Who have Arsenal signed yet, except Calafiori? David Raya. That's who they've signed this summer. For life of me, I can't think of anyone else they've signed. No, I can't think of anyone else. Hey, Johnny, you're right. So look, I think with what Spurs, for me, my 2 cents into what I hope Spurs have got planned. So I thought I saw something I didn't. I think for me, what I hope Spurs have got planned, look, 2 incomings for me. I think it's realistic, but that without going, Spurs still need to sign 5 players. Spurs were never going to fix their squad in one summer. Wait for someone to go. It's actually his second summer, Andy. Thanks, mate. For me, I think I would go for a midfielder. Is that Joao Gomes? Obviously, we'll see about that. For me, midfielder and defender-wise, if I had to pick between a left back and a left centre back, like I had to pick one, I'm not going to be saying that the Spurs are going to get a player that can play both. If I had to pick one, it'd be left back for me. It'd be left back, yeah. Now, if obviously we get someone that can do both, that's a different story. But for me, left back for sure. I feel like we're going to get one more big bomb for this window. Sign this window. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. They're making fun of you. Okay, why? It said we are looking for a left-sided defender and centre mid. Definitely with interest in Gomez. We're quickly talking of 200 million nets window if that happens. Well, don't say that too loud, Mauler, because people still think we should be spending even more than that. But you are right. I see what you mean. We need a midfielder who puts his foot in and a leader and cover for Van der Ven. A leader and a cover for Van der Ven. A lot of fans not happy with this window so far. Thing is, Darren, the issue is with the Spurs fan base. The Spurs fan base, I'm going to be nice here, and I'm going to really mind my words. And it's not everyone. We're talking about a small pocket of fans. A lot of fans, top quality. You know, they may not love every player, but they'll support every player. They'll back every player to the hill. You know, but you get some fans who I'm going to be, like I said, going to be nice. They're miserable. They are depressed human beings who take it out and abuse their own players. A draw with Leicester brought them all out the woodworks. And if you were a player, would you want to be going on social media just to see your fans abusing your squads after one game of the season? I wouldn't. I wouldn't like half of our fan base if it was like that. You know, we've got a great community here. I think we're level-headed. We, I believe, are open to conversation. And look, my opinion counts as much as your opinion. It carries as much weight as yours does, right? I've always been on the mindset of you support every player, regardless if you think they're good, bad, the best or the worst. You support them because they play for your team. Now you can still think what you think of them, but as long as you're not abusing anyone, that's the important thing. And I see people going and slagging off like Timo Werner, right? Slagging off Brennan Johnson, slagging off Bissouma, right? Oh, he's this, he's that, he's the other. If you don't like your players, don't support the team. That's the way I look at it. It's like going into the supermarket, right? And the cashier's a little bit slow, and you just sitting there shouting at them, basically calling them crap, this, that, the other. You wouldn't do that, would you? So you do it to your own football club because, oh, well, they earn money. Because they earn money, we must be allowed to be rude to them. It's boring. It's absolutely boring. And I can't stand some of the fans in this fan base. I really can't. Hey, Matic, mate. How are we? Why do we spend Timo's loan? Big up, Andy. Hey, Joshua, mate, you're right. Don't forget to hit the like on your way out, people. Appreciate that, Kamagoo, mate. Our fans so reactionary. They are. One draw, end of the world. That's it. End of the world. Sack off the season. Doesn't matter about the other 37 games. And guess what? We drew our first game of the season last season. And after 10 games, we were top. But no, we'll sack off the season. Not interested. This, that, the other. Don't forget, we've got 3 cup competitions that we're in this season as well. No, sack them off because we drew with Leicester. It's boring. It's boring. I tell you what, they'd be a lot happier had we squeaked a 1-0 win and played some horrific football. Oh, wait. They're the Conte people. They're the Mourinho people. Why did we not back Conte? Forget the massive amounts of money they had. Forget the fact they had Harry Kane as well. Forget all that. Boring. Those fans are boring. And I don't even want to consider them fans. Those people are boring. I cannot stand them. That's why I do not spend time on Twitter. And I implore you not to spend time on Twitter for that reason alone. Some channels deal in negativity only. Well, Martin, they only deal in negativity so they can get people to click and comment, and you can all fester in this miserable world. And I can't, I like, you guys come in here and you go, I don't watch this channel, I don't watch this channel, I don't know these channels, right? I don't know these channels. But if they are so miserable, I wouldn't be watching them either. I watch YouTube for either informative things or just enjoyment, right? I'll give you a heads up. I'll give you a heads up, right? In my actual channel, so my own personal thing that I just watch all my stuff on. You know, I like stuff like the Sidemen, right? I watch some of their stuff because it's just low-key, good vibes. It's a bunch of mates talking crap and playing video games. That's good stuff to me. I enjoy that. I'm really into history, so I watch that for informative things. If the informative things were agenda-driven pushing things, I wouldn't watch them. I want to learn. I don't want to be drilled into in the mindset of this is bad or this is good, X, Y, and Z, you know? Well, I don't know about that. Who ordered the Yappuccino? You, Marshall. Romero is extremely important to the team, and after the mistake, they already want him gone. It doesn't make sense. Reactionary, you know what I mean? Tell him again, Andy. Morning all. Well said, Andy. Appreciate it, Mark. Appreciate it, Sonia. I agree with Yanni, but I can see why some Spurs fans aren't happy. It's been like this. It's been like 18 years since we last won, right? Yeah, but you can be unhappy. There's nothing, by the way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you being unhappy. And I completely understand as to why people are unhappy. But to verbally abuse And to be so reactionary to say the season's already over, boring. I swear people mustn't even mean that as well. I think they're just doing it hoping that they get people to interact with that. Attacking the players is wrong. You have to question the board and the transfer strategy of some signings. It's not fault of the players why they are here. Sacking Poch was a mistake. See, I don't know if sacking Poch was a mistake by the end, actually. Hadn't won an away game in over a year. We were absolutely and this isn't Poch's fault, by the way, because, he wasn't backed at times and he should have been back. And I've always been said, because some people think I'm like Daniel Levy in. I'm really not. I will criticize and critique when I think he's not done well. And there's been times where he hasn't backed managers and he has let people down. And there's times where you go, actually, he's done a good job, because he's not done all bad. And people saying he's done all bad live in this little cocoon of, I'm always right, you're always wrong if you don't agree with me. And because you don't agree with me, you must be a Levy in guy. It's those purple and yellow or whatever it is on Twitter. Miserable humans. Why did you start your channel? If I'm honest, Sonia, this will be a fun one. I really, really like Mark Goldbridge, the Man United guy. He's funny. He's quick-witted. He's a good time, right? And I don't always agree with everything he says, by the way, because half the time I call him out on Twitter because I say he's wrong, right? So it's that. But I used to watch him because I came across like compilation of his jokes. I was like, yeah, do you know what? He's actually quite funny. And then I watched his career modes, and it used to be great. I used to put him in the background whilst I used to do work. And then I thought, I don't know if any Spurs pages are any good for doing this. And that's why I did it. So when you guys go, I watch these people, I'm like, I don't know who they are. And that's not because I'm arrogant. It's because I just don't watch them. Like I said, my personal page, I subscribe. The only football thing I subscribe to is Sky Sports Football, so I can watch the highlights of the 3 p.m. games. That's all I subscribe to football-wise. I subscribe to nothing else. Do you watch 4-4-2 Oons? I don't. Ange should address the real problem. Set pieces, counter-attack, missing DM, backup, left back, and right winger. Well, the set pieces were pretty good at the weekend, Monday, in terms of defending them. Attacking them could be better, I would agree. Counter-attack, I've got my own views on that. It's a bit different, but it's not for everyone. A missing DM. Problem is, I just don't know who there is on the market for that. Maybe Joao Gomes could be. You never know. But yeah, I agree with the left back. Maybe not right wing. I want to see what Mikey and Odebear have. It's all right, Marshall. I know you were kidding. Some channels are absolutely miserable drivel. One particular one spends several hours a day complaining about everything. Life's too short. You know what I mean? Now, who got worse, Andy? I was in a garage boxing bag, just getting myself wound up. I agree fans should not be slagging off players, but it was not my point. But it's more fans that are not happy with the quality brought in the Ezes and Netos. We had the chance, we didn't go for it. Well, we did go for Neto. We did. They rejected our offer. Why do Vicario do what he... Oh, Jesus, here we go. Why do Vicario do what he do? That would be problem. Vida, I'm not too sure what you mean, my friend. Did Bentancur just get knocked out, or is it worse because it was the back of the head? Well, supposedly so. After the stretcher pulled him back through to the back, he was up and walking around and being active. So hopefully he's okay. He's probably going to miss the next couple of games because of protocol, but more importantly, I hope he's okay. Supporters mean support. None of these channels support ever. It's all misery, doom and gloom. Motto is everyone out. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I see it all over Twitter and I roll my eyes. You know? So it's just embarrassing. I wonder if other football clubs have such reactionary, miserable people in theirs that have platforms, as I mean, you know? Poch had to go 18 months that morning, so I agree that his last season was good. No, like I said, I think he had to go by the end, but he was screwed multiple times. You and X are my two favorite Spurs channels. Hopefully, whoever this X is, they're a positive human. Andy, that's why you're fast becoming the fans' favorite on Spurs news. Well, look, I appreciate it. Like I said, I'll bring you some news. I'll give you my opinion. I'll listen to yours, and we have a chat about it. You know, the only thing I don't stand for is abuse. It's the only thing I don't stand for. You don't have to like a player, by the way. Like, you know, if you don't like Brennan Johnson, I get it. He's not for everyone. If you don't like Romero, I get it. He's not for everyone. But you support him. That's all I care about, you know? Most people don't know this, but we actually have a new set piece coach. You just didn't know. Yeah, it's me, Patrick. It's me. It's me. Hoping Archie. I was rubbish on Monday. I was trying to get him to score from the set pieces. I was rubbish. We won loads, so I did my job there, but I was rubbish from the rest of it. Hoping Archie Gray has a wicked game soon. We'd love to see more of him and Bergvall. I think you will. I think you will see them soon. I want to talk about that, actually. I thank you for bringing it up. British needs sunlight and park walks. Hey, I've got my dog. That's why I think I'm a happy person. I walk my dog in the sunlight and I get my fresh air. With a goalkeeper meet a fast forward, he will lose. Vida, I'm really not sure. Expressions. I was either really over the top person, Josh, who says blood and fam every other word. Am I right in saying? What is the concussion protocol in Premier League? In AFL, they cannot play for 10 days. I believe it's something similar, Adventurous. I believe it's something very, very similar. I think 2 more will come in, DM and fullback. Can't see another attacker coming in, unfortunately. No, I don't think you get another attacker. Midfielder and defender. Maybe a keeper, but I think that might be potential one of those buy and loan out situations. When our expression is oozing. When I see and listen for 5 minutes, I get anxiety. Doomsdayers. And the funny thing is that at the end of their rant, they will go, it's only football, crazy stuff. It's like the same people that give you advice and go, but it's your life. But you've just given absolutely horrific advice. But, it's your life. Those people. Move them on. His times is a bit reactionary. We don't like reactionary. No team is entitled to titles unless they work for it, no matter how long it's been. Many Spurs fans I think most Spurs fans think we play in white. That means we're Real Madrid. There we go. Nothing I would like more is to see the team really do well the next few matches and see what people have to say then. Yeah, they're the same people that go look at my complaining. They've come back around. We're amazing. And they'll pat themselves on the back for it. The thing I don't really like is the other top 6 fans are being really positive, and even the ones that are really negative are now positive. So what's the problem with us? What we think we are, what we actually are. We're going through a rebuild. You know? Vicario was attacked last season. He lost many times. Well, yeah, but that was because of the rules. They weren't trying to protect some keepers, whereas they've changed the rules. You can't block the keepers. You can't impede the keeper. And look what happens. They had set pieces and we had no issues. We need right wing, left footed place. Odegaard will be the guy, Hreshav. I would rather crap in my hands and clap than listen to Sava. I don't know who this Sava is. People say his name, but he seems one miserable person. Don't know who he is, though. Teddy's back, my guy. What type of dog and their name? Well, Richard. He is a cross between a border collie, a farm dog, and a Labrador. And his name is Alex. Alex the dog. Which reminds me, in about an hour's time, I better take him out. Otherwise he'll be looking at me like I'm a piece of crap and going, oi, get the lead and let's go. What have been listening the last 10 minutes? Me cooking Spurs Twitter. I'm annoyed we didn't get Eze. So am I, but it's one of those ones that unfortunately, you never know. You never know in the future. X was the Spurs first Spurs chat I watched. Some people take it too far, but if your club is bringing in billions, you haven't won in decades, I do absolutely understand the negative sentiment. There's no prerequisite for fans to be measured. Well, the thing is, Munene George, I think that's how you say your name. Apologies if it's wrong. I completely get, like I said, if fans want success. I want success, right? I'm pro Ange. I am very pro Ange as well, by the way. I'm probably more pro Ange than you could possibly imagine. Spurs for a long time went through managers, got Poch, did a bit of a rebuild, started doing quite well, moved on from him, and then tried to bring in quick hit managers to win things like Mourinho and Conte. And I was always like, look, I just want to win something. And it didn't work. So they've gone back to what Poch was in theory, like Ange. And next thing you know, we have to go through a bit of a rebuild. We went from 8th to 5th and lost our best ever player potentially in the last 20 years. And people are expecting us to be challenging for the title. Make that one make sense. Do you think we'll have a new sign this week? Positively, yes. I don't know. How about the young player bashing from them? Imagine if you see and read all that, how he constantly affected. Yeah. Can you imagine if Mikey Moore's first proper game where he starts and he has a bit of a stinker? Can you imagine how that'll go? This is part of the reboot, guys. Why are we acting like we'll get relegated? These players are young and unproven time. The amount, Patrick, the amount of people that tell me we're going to finish in the bottom half of the table, it's embarrassing. You need to play Hitman on your second channel. I'll check it out, Ted. I'll check it out. Wish we got Joaquim at Yakim and Yakim. Oh, Yakim Love. Yakim, I think it's how you say it, isn't it? Yakim Anderson for 30 mil. Great business by Fulham. I think it's a good deal for Fulham and Palace. I think both of them work. He talks sense, apparently, Daniel. He recommended once. I clicked on it and never heard so much negativity from a Spurs fan. He's everyone out. Oh, crikey. Hitman Absolution. I'll check it out. Show us Alex the dog. He's not here with me. He's downstairs. He's not here with me. I'm upstairs. I'll put it on my community post, or I'll put it on my social media, a little picture of him. He's an old boy. He's about 14. But we'll say Ange did promise to win something this season, but the signings don't reflect that so far. Well, Ange said in my second season, I normally win something. You know, Ange ball isn't for me. We leak too many goals to be successful. That is your opinion, Daniel, and you're more than entitled to it. You know, if we don't win this season, hopefully Romero does not pull a Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell went to Arsenal. He's not going to go to Arsenal. But Real Madrid, you could see it. Absolutely could see it. But then again, at the same time, you're cashing in a lot of money on him. What do you do with that money if you do sell him? You got to invest it big in players. Should we start Solomon before Werner? At least he's good at dribbling, hold the ball, and shoot properly. With Manor, it really depends on his sharpness. It's not about fitness, I don't think, anymore. I think it's just sharpness, you know? Also, maybe people in the chat shouldn't be talking, well, let's not swear, about other YouTubers if you're a good vibes channel. Well, look, like I said, let's not be abusing anyone. That's the key thing here. I don't know who these people are. I'm not offering my opinion on them. What I would say is if you find them to be not your cup of tea, then I would just, I think you can, I don't know how you do it. I normally watch mine on the PlayStation because it's just easier for me. But there's normally a thing where you can see less. It's like an option where you can see less of this channel or something like that. Just press that. Move on. Block them if you need to, you know, whatever it is. Move on, you know. Just bought for Hitman, 4 Hitman games for Hitman used to be banging on the PlayStation 1. It used to be banging. What's your second channel? Josh, I'll get it for you in a second, mate. Sava isn't everybody hour. My Chow died in January. I was about 4 years old. I'm sorry for your loss, Marshall, mate. But as long as the dog had a happy 4 years, that's the important thing. Remember, that's always the important thing. I think, yeah, Chris, you're right. Can you stream more so we watch more of you and less of them? Well, I stream twice a day. I stream as much as I can. Do you guys think Gomez is worth 50 million? I do, Martin. I actually do. That's the going rate in the market. Now, about 4 years ago, you'd say no, but that is the going rate in the market. And if Enzo Fernandez is worth 100 million, then Gomez is definitely worth at least 50. Not thrice a day, not that many times a day. Let's have a quick. Just want to bring up the. Oh, I could do it here, I think. Here we go. Yeah, if you do want to follow the second channel, what I'll do. Yeah, there you go. There's the second channel. So I do need to post on it this week. Thank you for reminding me, Josh. I think 4th is the goal. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Annie, you should do panel shows and call out other. Well, look, I'm not one of those people that likes to stir up things and get leery. I like my community. I like my channel. I like adding people to my community, building up a quality group. That's how I like it personally. I'm not here to cause trouble. I don't ever want to be that person either. That's not letting you click on that link, is it? Right. Not very good, is it? All right, try this one. Yeah, try that one. That should, yeah, there you go. That's working now. Does he have high IQ and technical ability, or is he Brexitable? No, he's not Brexitable. Wolves play better football than you think, by the way. Will Gomez is class, in my opinion, rather him than any of my midfielder we've been linked to recently. Well, that's a fair shout. I like Gomez. I do. I mean, I think he's a different type of player than a Ramsey or a Well, he's similar. I think he's probably more similar to a Gallagher in a sense. Yeah, I'd say so. Will he take Sar's spot? I think, like I said, rotation. You know, I think it'll be perfect as our midfield pitbull in the number 8 position. Who do you drop to play Gomez? Rotation. You know what I mean? What do you think of this year's outgoing loans? Do you see a better strategy? Well, I think there's going to be more coming over the next couple of weeks. And like I said, every Tuesday, post-transfer window, every Tuesday, that's where we do our loan roundouts. We talk about all the boys out on loan. Obviously, we won't be doing the ones that are like obligation to leave, like Højbjerg. Nobody cares about that. But like Donnelly out at Leyton Orient, Valise at Espanyol, that kind of vibe, you know? So I'm hoping that we get more of like the Alfie Devine, Joe Roden type of loans than we do a Valise type of loan where he doesn't play, you know? We're not in the title, just enjoy the football. Do we need a defensive midfielder? Well, we definitely need another midfielder for sure. That works, is it? There we go. Some do so-called debates and just bully their opponents with so-called facts of the last 10 years when the debate is about the future aspirations and ambitions of. Well, do you know what? It doesn't half remind you about politics, doesn't it? And how political debates go. Were I a bright kid in school or a troublemaker? I was probably both, if I'm honest. Subbed. Good man, Josh. Appreciate it, my friend. Welcome to the journey on the second channel. I'm probably posting some F1 on there this week. The second episode is actually quite funny. You're going to like that one. We have enough 8s, but we need 6s. Unless Gomez can play as a 6, I don't see a point again. But look, the guy can tackle. The guy can get stuck in. How he handles counter-attacking, that's a bit different. Because obviously, we don't really do the low block defensive work, you know. Donna, I go out and drink too much. That I couldn't tell you what happens on my nights out. So I'm most likely drunk the whole time. We need a combative centre mid in the shape of Romero when we have Pierre Højbjerg as a sub. He was positive. Next year, bid for Bowen. In West Ham aren't going to sell to us, are they? I like the idea, but I don't think they're going to sell to us. On the side of the combative centre mid, Joao Gomes is kind of that sort of style. Ironically, Gallagher was that kind of style as well. Maybe not as defensively combative. Maybe he's more of the high press combative, but Gomez is definitely a combative guy. Since we have Gray, Basuma, Sarr, Bergval, who can play 8s? Well, I don't hate the idea, Boris. I don't hate the idea. Gomez will be top. Madzi, my guy. How are you, mate? Anthony, how come we only got 7 likes, 130 people watching? I like this channel. And like you, went through most comments. Respect. Anthony, appreciate the super chat, my friend. Absolute legends. I've got 38 likes on this, I think, at the moment. But be careful with drinking. It's a slippery slope. It is. It is, Marshall. That's why I only drink very rarely. But to be honest, you can always drink summer fruit squash. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Gomez in the 8 will really help us out with countering transitions. We can get away with Bentancur as the number 6 with Gomez in the team. Yeah, do you know what? Do you know what? Let's compare it to how we started last season. I thought Sar's energy at the 8 really helped defensively. Something I think lacking at times from Sar. I think Sar's great, by the way. I think sometimes it lacks. You know, all this talk about other YouTubers need to stop. You don't like what they say, don't watch. Agreed, Robert. Questioning why I've spent so much money this summer yet only had one new starter in the squad is valid. Well, Archie Gray is going to rotate and add in, so let's not count out him. That's for sure. Odebear will feature this season as well. Let's not count him out as well as that, mate. But I agree. If you don't like something, don't watch it. I won't lie. I don't like politics. I don't watch politics stuff. You know what I mean? I'll put my hand up. I'm a bit of a loser at times. I love WWE. I watch loads of it. I don't watch a ton of other wrestling companies. Although on Sunday, I am going to the Wembley show for AEW, which I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to that. Should be good. I think Gomez improves the squad. I also think a 6 will be a big improvement. I think Gomez will help a 6 out, if you know what I mean. I think he'd help the 6 out a lot. Hincapie and Gomez, I think, would be a top window. That would be bonkers. Like, this is why I see us looking more for Locatelli as a natural 6 and would only cost us 20 million. Yeah, I think with the situation with like a Locatelli, defensively, he defends in normally a low block in Juventus's past seasons. Will he be able to do it in a situation that Spurs have? You know what I mean? Thoughts on the Brennan Johnson hate? Over the top, unnecessary. Support the player. You don't have to love him, but support the player. But if Bentancur gets injured, we lose our only type of 6 players. That's why I see Locatelli come to us. Fair enough. Saw the Odegaard first training video. Looks sharp. Oh, he does look sharp, doesn't he? Like to see Star get stuck in a bit more. Yeah, me too, mate. See you later, Daniel, mate. Don't count our Bergveld. Neither do I. You like the UFC? I love the UFC, mate. I bloody love it. I quite often wake up at sort of 3, 4 a.m. to, let's be honest, I don't watch every single fight. Most of the fights are on at ridiculous times, but I do like the UFC a lot. I do. I'm a Poatan Pereira kind of guy. Absolutely love him. Absolutely love him. Jama. Are you going to Wembley Sunday? I will be there also. There you go. Will Ospreay's great. He is. I'm looking forward to him and MJF. And like I said, I don't watch a ton of AEW. I think at times their booking's not great, but the wrestling's obviously banging. They just need some more storylines. That's my thinking. They need more storylines. Do you think players overtrain these days? I don't think so. I really don't, actually. Sorry, I'm late. So what's going on with Vanderson and Gomez? Which position did Vanderson play? Vanderson plays right back. And you're late. You're 41 minutes late, James. Unbelievable. No. Vanderson, interest. Gomez, interest. We're just going to wait and see on that front. Big ups, W is amazing. Pro Wrestling's awesome. Spurs fans should never go at each other. We have a common ground, which we're on the same. Yeah. Let's just, you know what I mean? Support the club. But yeah, W is great. I was Cultaholic Wrestling on YouTube. Brilliant channel. You'd love it. Keeps you up to date with all wrestling news across all of this, the world. UK guys, I think they're in Newcastle. Brilliant. Love watching them. So Cultaholic Wrestling, if you want to know. Seems Eze might not even be going to City since, from what it looks like, they're going for Kyogo Furuhashi. Well, supposedly so, Boris. And obviously they're getting Gundo. So which Tottenham Hotspur saying would be great. Well, they're looking to bring WrestleMania to the UK, which I am so going. I used to watch Prime Bullet Club in NJPW. Oh, those are the days, mate. With Prince, who's obviously Finn Balor in WWE. You know. Yes, others will play. First game they didn't. I think a defensive midfielder is needed. One, we can change the 3 centre-backs and the full-backs can invert. There you go. We'd love to get Agate on that loan obligation buy deal. I think isn't he not going to United? All our signs are going to feature, plus a bit of Mikey Moore. Good signing. They're making a big difference in a year or two. They'll be first 11 basic players. Agreed. WrestleMe is a great wrestling channel. Really funny reviews. I'll check it out, Martin. Thanks for the shout out. If it's funny, I'm keen. Maybe we should do a UFC watch along his second channel sometime. Josh, good shout. Good shout, Josh. I don't mind it. UFC. I actually downloaded the UFC 5 game. I got it on EA Play 5-hour demo to play. I'll do a couple of videos on it as well because I love the UFC. Vanderson works if Porro is being played in attacking right side of row. Well, he's not going to be played there though, unfortunately, Jay. That's why I said it doesn't make much sense. Watching early morning over here in the States. Just sub Mikey, shout out summer fruit squash. It's a fruit juice, Mikey, in the US. But welcome along for the journey, my friends. Garth can easily pocket any player. Is a pretty good playmaker. Gray can also play right back too. So there's 3 or 4 players who can. Yeah, true. Well, probably won't be on the Pints on Sunday, Donna. Any updates on Bentancur and Porro injuries? Nothing right now, Cozy. I think we're going to wait on Porro for sure. Bentancur will most likely miss the next 2 games and be back after the international break because we needed an international break 3 games into the season. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. Thank you all so much. It's now afternoon. It's midday now in England. Enjoy the rest of your afternoons. I'm going to go walk the dog and get some fresh air. And do you know what? Life's too short to be miserable. That's the key thing from today. Enjoy the rest of your afternoons, everyone. I'll see you all this evening to talk more Spurs. Enjoy it. Peace out. Ciao.